Before I was a pastor, well, actually, while I was a pastor, but I was a different kind of pastor. Before I was a pastor of a local church, I was a traveling, whatever I was, minstrel, I don't know. And anyway, so I every once in a while, I just think sometimes having a guy up here with a talking head, it kind of gets, it can be monotonous. And so, I also think that music does something. It was really cool to hear you guys sing this morning, by the way. And I think it happened, you guys on the front, like these students, they added a lot just by bringing their voices into the room. But if you want a New Year's resolution, Parkway, singing is one of the ones that you and I could add. It's one of the simplest, was that Tim that did that? It's one of the, we're commanded in the Bible to sing. And, it's hard to love your enemy, but it's easy to sing. And you don't have to do it very well. It doesn't say you have to sing well, just say you have to sing. So anyway, that was beautiful to hear. But I think there's something about music that can reach a heart in a different way. And so this morning, I'm gonna sing a couple songs, tell a couple stories. That's really my heart. I'm a storyteller. But I really want to start off just by a simple scripture that seems appropriate right after Christmas, heading into a new year. And it's 1 John 4:19. It's very simple. You could memorize this. And it would matter. This is what it says in 1 John 4:19. We love because he first loved us. Say it with me. We love because he first loved us. So this morning, all my songs and these thoughts are really around this theme of it's your move. He loved you first. It's your move. One man come in the name of love. One man come and go. One man come here to justify. One man to overthrow. In the name of love. What more in the name of love? In the name of love. What more in the name of love? One man caught on a barbed wire fence. One man he resists. One man was washed on an empty beach. There was one man who betrayed with a kiss. In the name of love. What more in the name of love? In the name of love. What more in the name of love? Oh. He came in the name of love. Came in the name of love. In the name of love. What more in the name of love? In the name of love. What more in the name of love? What makes a cloud a cloud? How do they hang there? Why do they hang there? Are they lighter than everything else? but just happier. What makes a clown is that there's someone beneath them holding them up, thanks God. What makes a sunset? How do those colors dance in the wind? And when night falls, what keeps them from breaking? And how do they rise again? What makes a sunset? Is there someone beneath it to pick up the pieces of the breaking dawn? Thanks God. Out the door, look back into my window just to see my vanity and all the things I was into. I was into me. Thank you for the clarity, thank you for the kindness in my vanity. You removed all the blindness, thanks God. I'm saying thank you for the clarity, thank you for the kindness in my vanity. You removed all the blindness, thanks God. What makes people? Why do we scurry around from place to place? Are we really in a hurry, or are we just lost? What keeps us from spiraling down? What makes people? Is that there's someone beneath us holding us up, thanks God. And what made Jesus? And how did he break the chains that hold me down? Did he ever feel busy and bored at once? What keeps him from floating back up? What made Jesus? Is it God in his love didn't stay up above? Thanks God. I walked out my door and looked back in through my window just to see my vanity and all the things I was into. I was into me. Thank you for the clarity, thank you for the kindness in my vanity. You removed all the blindness, thanks God. I'm saying thank you for the clarity, thank you for the kindness in my vanity. You removed all the blindness, thanks God. Amen. We love because he first loved us. So this next song is I actually wrote it as a worship song. I only did one worship album when I was a recording artist, and because I just thought that worship albums can be they can end up being extremely commercial and say the same things over and over again. And I don't pretend to believe that any of the stuff that I wrote was any better than anything else, but I at least tried to say, you know what, I'd like to say it differently. I'd like to say something. I'd like to say some of the same kinds of things. I mean, praise is not rocket science. It's not complex. It's just hard to do because we're so caught up in not noticing all the cool stuff that God does. But this song is it's really just trying to say thank you. It's trying to say, God, I noticed. It's trying to say, God, I noticed the kind of year that I had. I noticed the people around me who love me. I noticed the things that you've done and the ways that you've done it. It's just a way of saying I noticed. This song's called More Than a Song. Sometimes you were moving, sometimes moving me, sometimes confining, sometimes making free. Sometimes you were hiding to see where I turn. Sometimes gently chiding to see what I learn. And I just wanted you to know that I noticed. And I just wanted you to hear these words from my lips. I just wanted you to know that it mattered, and to hear the depth of my praise is more than a song. Sometimes you were working, I thought it was me. Sometimes you were blinding, and all I could see. Some always you were faithful, always by my side. Always you were dangerous, but you're a safe place to hide. I just wanted you to know that I noticed. I just wanted you to hear these words from my lips. I just wanted you to know that it matters, and to hear the depth of my praise is more than a song. And to hear the depth of my praise is more than a song. Lord, hear the depth of my praise. Amen. We love because he first loved us. So during our time here, Ginger and I actually went to South Africa a couple years ago. You guys may remember that. We were gone for a couple weeks, and it was really a pilgrimage. It wasn't really a mission trip. We didn't go to build anything, we were really going to just see and take in and learn about how God had accomplished what he had accomplished in South Africa. When you think about South Africa, it's the only country in the modern world, maybe the only country ever, where a majority oppressed population, right? The black South African population being oppressed by a minority, like 10% or 12% or something of the population was white, was Caucasian in South Africa. They were oppressing the majority population, and this is the only time in modern history, at least, where a majority population took over from an oppressor without a bloody revolution. It was quite a thing. And so this was during the time of a lot of the obviously still going on. We still see it now, but a lot of the stuff that was going on in our country at that time, 2 or 3 years ago, it was Ferguson and all these different kind of things, issues, racial reconciliation kind of issues. And we thought, we're going to go and do this, and we're going to go and learn and see. So we went, and it was a life-changing trip. We had a great time and learned a lot about the people. Came to really have a love for the people and for the culture. And we got, we certainly went off the beaten trail. We didn't just go to the touristy kind of places. In fact, we went to a lot of places that our bus driver, who was a black South African, couldn't believe that we wanted to go. He was like, "You want to go where?" That kind of stuff. And no, we want to go. So we went into some of these townships. And these townships, I told you about them when we got back. But, I mean, just as far as the eye could see, these were houses that were made out of corrugated tin and cardboard and mason brick if they could find it. And, houses no bigger than this little square or, this part of the stage where I'm sitting right now where people would live. And it was crazy, some of the stuff that we saw. But we went to a little township called Etwatwa. Etwatwa, nobody really knows the origin of the town name, but they believe that the township of Etwatwa got its name because Etwatwa sounds like the sound of gunfire, and that they had gotten so used to the sound of gunfire that they named their little informal community Etwatwa. So we went to Etwatwa, and we went to a little, actually a Methodist run. It's called the Wesley Community Center there, and it was run by a South African Methodist church. And so we got to go, and we went, and we took a tour of the place, and there was, it was an after-school program for kids, and so they had job training, and they had arts and crafts. They even had like an IT thing where they had computers for 8 or 10 of the kids at a time, and they were teaching them how to do things. Working with computers, all kinds of stuff. It was really cool. But one of the programs they had was a chess program. And so these kids, we walked in, and I don't know if they just saw me coming like, hey, let's get the dumb-looking guy in the front. But we walked into the room, and there were these kids, and they're all playing chess. There's probably 25 of them, 30 of them playing chess. It can't be 25, I guess, because chess takes 2. But anyway, let's call it 30. And so there's 30 people in this room, and these are all kids, and they're like, the ages of like 6 to 15 or something. And we walk in, we're just taking a tour of the place, and this kid makes a beeline for me, this 10-year-old kid. And he looks at me and he says, "You play chess?" Well, you could call it that, I guess. I mean, I haven't played chess in 35 years. But yeah, sure, I'll play you in chess. And I just thought, it'd be a nice thing to do to play this 10-year-old South African kid, So we sit down at the table. I'm saying, this would be nice. It'll be a story to tell later. Until he beat the crud out of me in chess. Like, just really, I mean, we start moving, he lets me go first. I should have known that was a sign of mercy or something. He was setting me up. I'm glad I'm not a betting man, or we would have lost our plane tickets or something. But yeah, we're sitting there, and so, I go first. I push a pawn, he pushes a pawn, whatever. We start, and bishop out and, knight out and, rook and all that stuff. So we start doing all this stuff, and I quickly realize I'm in over my head. Like, this he's making like moves. He's setting up things, like defenses and offenses, classically taught kind of stuff that probably had some Russian name in front of it, the Romanov, whatever. And I'm just going, oh, look, the horsey moves like this, that's cute. Let's do that. Oh, he moves diagonal. Whee, that's how I was playing the game. And this kid's setting up all this stuff, and so I go out there, and they must play like a tournament version of chess, because he didn't have a clock. Thankfully, he didn't put me on the clock. I would have imploded with all the stress. But he wanted me to move. Like, he wanted to keep going. He's like, "It's your move. It's your move. It's your move. It's your move." I know it's my move. Okay, Sparky. All right, I got it. All right, thanks. You're 10. You're kicking my butt. All right, leave me alone. So we're going through, and I'm making all these moves, and I put up a decent defense. I mean, it lasted at least 15 minutes, and we get near the end of the game, and the rest of the team, they've long since forsaken me to this kid to be beaten, and finally we get to near the end, and he just keeps pushing me. It's your move. It's your move. It's your move. It was almost as if he knew. From the very beginning of the game, it was almost as if he knew that from the very beginning of the game, there would be this moment where he was going to make this move, that it was going to be the end for me. I was going to have no choice but to just tip over my king, shake his hand, and walk out of the room. Right? Like, he knew that was coming. He knew that one of his moves, like, he was just moving me to a certain. So I knew I was in trouble. He takes my queen, and now I'm down to nothing. And I'm running all over the board. And he eventually kind of backs me into a corner, and I can see the end is near. And I'm maybe 2 or 3 moves from checkmate, and he puts me in check, and he puts me in check. And finally, I can see I'm just a couple moves away from being checkmated by a 10-year-old kid. And I just realized that I was beaten, and so I tipped my king, and I just said, I concede. And he didn't seem surprised by that. because he had been moving in that direction the whole game. He knew that I think he knew that he had me beat from the moment I sat down. Now, I tell myself that was the best kid in the whole place. That's why I lost to him, but I'm not sure that's actually true. But friends, right here after Christmas, heading into New Year, it seems to me that Christmas, moving into New Year, is the perfect time for us to look in the mirror, and to look not just in the mirror at who we are, but to look at who God really is. I mean, God is a chess master, friends. He's been playing a game of chess with the universe since the very beginning. And he's made some incredible moves, creation, and creating man and woman in his image, and adopting a people, and moving these people, and walking with them and helping them. And he's made these masterful moves. And it's as if from the very beginning he knew that there was going to be a time when he was going to make a move, when all reasonable people would just know that it was time to surrender. And friends, 2,000 years ago, that's what we celebrated at Christmas. That's what we celebrated at Christmas. That God made this ultimate move. I just imagine him up in heaven going, "It's your move. It's your move," I just imagine him, getting to this place, and he's like, "Okay, I've done it. Like, I left the perfection of heaven. I was born in the form of a baby." And of course, looking back through history, we can look back on that and we see the rest of the story, right? And it wasn't just that God left heaven and let somebody change his diapers, right? Which is humbling enough. That's an incredible move in and of itself. But we get to see, with the benefit of hindsight, all the other moves that God makes all the way up until the cross. The God who, having taken on flesh and bone and blood and skin, that he was able to love us and to teach us what it means to follow him. And he was willing to turn the other cheek when people spat on him, or when they hurt him. And when he was 33 years old, he picked up a cross and he carried up a hill. And he stretched out his arms as if in a love embrace to the whole of humanity. He looked at us, and still looks at us today, and says, "Okay, I've done my part. I'm still doing my part. It's your move. It's your move." My prayer for us is that we would use this as an opportunity this year to just surrender. Just to tip our King over, right? Get off of the throne of our lives and say, "God, that was well done. That was love well demonstrated. I tip my cap to you, God, and I tip my life to you." Now, not all of us are in that place yet. And we've done a lot of things where we've maybe some of the moves we've gotten into, some of the corners we've backed ourselves into, are accomplishing all kinds of damage. But I have good news for you, even in those corners, in those places where you're not sure that God's even close by. I have good news for you this morning. It's that God is not done yet. You may think that I am broken, 'cause I am. You may think that I am beaten, 'cause I am. But I'll rise again. Yes, I'll rise again. God's not done yet. You may think that I'm defeated. I'm not. may think that I am finished. I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I'll rise again. Yes, I'll rise again. God's not done yet. I won't be a fool until you come for me. And I will sing this song till you come for me. And I will dance this dance, and I'll be undignified, and I'll still speak when I'm scared. A love heart all of my life. I won't back down and I won't shut up. I'll keep pushing on until I drop. I will not tire and I will not stop. I won't be moved and I can't be bought until I rise again. Yes, I'll rise again. No, I'll rise again. 'Cause God's not done yet. So I'm just going to end with this, but when you're ready, it's your move, right? When you're ready and when I'm ready, we have the ability, whether that's completely tipping our king and ending the game and saying, God, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of being tired of me, and I'm ready, God, to put you in charge of my life. Or whether it's something that's massive like that, or maybe it's just something like, God, this moment, this day, I see this in my life, and I'm going to tip that to you, and I'm going to leave that to you. I'm going to say, God, can you do something even with someone like me? When you're ready to do that, God is waiting. He's been waiting for eternity on this world to do that. And in that moment, the rest of our lives after that moment get lived as a thank you. It's not just about singing some songs, although we should sing songs. It's not just about giving some money, although we should give money. It's not about reading the Bible, although we should read the Bible. It's all those things are ways of getting to know God better. But really, the thing he wants more than anything is for a life lived in gratitude, not to earn the love that he's given us, but to say thank you for the love he's already given. So this song, no matter what you do, no matter all the things that we do, they end up being cheap imitations compared to what God has done for us. So this song is called Cheap Imitations. I have seen the colors changed in Pennsylvania, some California hills that made me cry. I've heard my daddy speak on Snowy Mountain Peak and whisper late at night. I have driven through the heart of Virginia, sung the sun to sleep on Silver Bay. When I gathered all the stars that I could hold within these arms, they sang a song, hovering 40,000 feet above the Grand Canyon. Tried to sing along, no song I'd sing ever do you justice, show how true your love is. No words I have, sum up my amazement, they would be cheap imitations. I have seen the nations rage in September, and I've dove the depths your mercy only knows. I've watched the resurrection of this homeland that I love. It'll never be my home. And I have stayed up late at night just to hear you. I've tried to change this world with songs you've given. I don't know if they have changed it, but I'm sure they have changed me. You're changing me. You know so many things about me that I don't know about me. You're helping me to see. No song I'd sing ever do you justice. Show how true your love is. No words I have could sum up my amazement. They would be cheap imitations. No song I'd sing could ever do you justice. Show how true your love is. No words I have sum up my amazement. They would be cheap imitations. Words are easy to come by, but do you have something to say? And praise is easy to sing about, so hard to give away. No song I'd sing ever do you justice. Show how true your love is. No words I have sum up my amazement. They would be cheap imitations. No song I'd sing could ever do you justice. Show how true your love is. No words I have sum up my amazement. They would be cheap imitations. Imitations. Oh, oh, oh. Amen.